Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
We had
How
a we
are
had a
you?
banging jam there. I'm sure everybody was happy with it.
Oh yeah, I was digging it.
Well, I've hectic couple of days, man. Oh my god. Oh my.
Oh,
No normal intro. I guess I can sing the song. Do 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 do.
bep, bep,
Oh,
bep, 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 bep.
you know what? We could probably get away with a copyright free version of a do 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 do. You
Dun,
know.
dun, dun. Ba, 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 da, da.
I can't think of anything.
So we're doing this a little bit out of order. We some technical issues came up, so we had to postpone until
Yes,
today.
yes.
So I'd like to thank you for your patience.
Yes, yes, yes. But you know what? We
I've
we
just
got
been
we
sitting
got a
here for
couple things to talk
24
about
hours.
today. Yeah, yeah. That, Bobby, I admire your dedication.
Yeah, I'm just happy I can move.
Hey, hey. But we got Dune 2 to talk about. That seems like a fairly popular movie.
Yeah, and I could share about my interesting experience during the film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Before we get to that, we also got the season 1 of X-Men, the animated series, and uh yes. I can't believe they made that series woke.
Yeah, how dare they?
Yeah.
How dare they?
It was so anti woke. And then we'll wrap it up with our final thoughts, finishing off the live action Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
Because I'll get to it when I'll do my total thoughts. Because just the release schedule, yeah. But I guess do we want to dive right into Dune?
Yeah, let's ride the worm.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, I think the Joe Russo, not the Avengers Joe Russo, but the horror movie director Joe Russo,
Yes.
posted a picture of Christopher Walken from Fat Boy Slim, with a quote with the quote about dance without rhythm and you won't attract the worm.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
actually really great.
So yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I guess real quick, if you're a little lost on that, some of the casting additions to this sequel, we get Christopher Walken as the Emperor, Florence Pugh as his daughter. I did not recognize the actor who played Phaedra Alpha. I
it's
think, was there
Austin
anything
Butler.
else worthy added?
It was
Hmm?
Elvis. It was Elvis.
Oh,
Austin
Austin
Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, I didn't
I
recognize him in
I
Polka.
recognized him immediately. I just thought
Oh,
of him
wow.
in that
Okay,
fucking.
I didn't.
I just thought of the pompadour on him and went, "It's
That
Elvis."
was Yeah, no, I did not catch that at all.
I heard it in his speech too. You didn't catch it when he's like, "Now listen here, man. See them big old mean man sandworming
He
things,
wasn't
man."
talking about being a hound dog or anything, so I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
missed
kidding.
that part. I
I didn't
definitely missed
detect
that part.
I didn't detect a shred of Elvis Presley in his voice. I'm kidding. I know
Yeah,
that he's had
Austin
issues
Butler.
trying to shake it.
Okay. Damn. Well, I think he disappeared in the role.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the father, and I had to look it up. Or the
the
uncle,
the
the
father.
uncle, Batista and Elvis's uncle.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's a Stellan Skarsgård, but he was in the
Yeah,
first one.
I didn't recognize him. It was driving
Giant
me
cat
crazy the
suit.
whole movie.
Yeah,
It's like I know who this is.
he's
Who
a
the
bit more
hell is this guy?
recognizable, at least in my opinion. Um,
Not to me.
but yeah. So listen,
And
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and
oh yeah,
say my piece here. I really like this movie. I think this is the best feature film live action version of Dune so far. Um, but I want to add a little bit here because as much as I enjoyed this version of Dune, and I also kind of missed Denis Villeneuve doing kind of more his own thing and just like this is a fairly faithful it's not 100% accurate, but it's a fairly faithful adaptation of Dune. And I just kind of want some more Denis Villeneuve movies where he just kind of does his own thing and I don't know, takes weird twists. I want him doing our enemy or another prisoners or I don't know, arrival. I don't know.
Wait, with
Those
Charlie
are my quick
Sheen?
thoughts, but yeah.
Wait, with
Not
Charlie
not
Sheen?
the no, the Amy Adams one.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of The Arrival.
Yeah, that
Completely
yeah.
different title than Arrival.
Was that what we're both about aliens?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I know the Charlie Sheen was, is their knees bent backwards, and that's like a something I'll never forget.
Mhm. Yeah. They're both decent. Denis Villeneuve is better, but I don't know. I remember enjoying the Charlie Sheen one.
Yeah, for Charlie Sheen,
Uh,
just being Charlie Sheen in it.
yeah. Um, Bobby, what are your overall thoughts on this?
Well, I'm going to echo something I said when we watched the first one, and how I kind of thought it was a bit ridiculous that what David Lynch did in one movie, they have to make two of. And I do see the benefits to it watching the second one. And it honestly made me kind of want to go back and just rewatch the very first one from '84 and then the newer one and then this one again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I was going in to this just like the first, completely blind to it, not really aware much of Dune or anything in regard to towards it. And this I kind of enjoyed. I did enjoy
Mm-hmm.
it. And
No,
I'd be interested to like kind of get more into the series. Enjoyed it. Like it kind of piqued my interest that much.
mm-hmm.
Maybe it had to do with my viewing experience, but
Maybe.
yeah, somehow I managed to luck out and be the only person in the theater to watch this.
Which is shocking. So, like, I'll let you get to your thing real fast, but I have a real quick thing to say.
Oh well,
So, my son was going to go.
oh sorry,
Uh,
go
I was
yeah.
I was just gonna say my son was gonna go with us to see this movie,
Mhm.
and about an hour and a half before going, he just changed his mind, which he's been doing a lot recently. But I have the AMC, like premiere, so I can just cancel the ticket. So I just canceled the ticket. In that hour and a half, his seat was sold. Um,
Jeez.
we had people on both sides of us, myself and my daughter.
Yeah.
In our theater, it wasn't packed, but it was pretty fucking full. I want to say we went 8:45 on a Saturday night, so it's a busier time, but
Now, to be fair, I did pick one of the last
damn.
showings on a Sunday night,
Mm-hmm.
but I still wouldn't expect that. And I happened to look because the one before, which was on the bigger screen, and I didn't want to get the
Mm-hmm.
big XD one because I think sometimes all I hear is the speakers rattling and not the audio. So I
Ooh,
just go to the standard
that
definition.
sucks. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's worse when like I've trained my ears to hear like the
Mm,
full everything in it, and if I just pick that up and I know what that is, it's like it kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
mm-hmm.
But I did enjoy this. I want to make that absolutely clear. I still think it's funny that David Lynch just needed one movie to do this,
Well, I
but
will say,
this
like,
did it better.
I am familiar with the book, and the David Lynch one, it's faithful as well, but it's rushed. Um,
Yes, agreed.
yeah, and
So
I definitely feel like here you get a better feel of the characters.
yeah, so with viewing it completely solo, that was not the first time that's ever happened to me in the theater, but I actually got I was invested in it. I was paying the utmost attention. I was captivated. It was
Mhm.
nice. It was lovely. Until he rode that sandworm and they just completely forgot about me and cut the audio out entirely.
Yeah,
So just
I
dead silence. And I'm watching
I
this
think
scene.
that's more of a theater issue.
That is a theater issue. The only time that's happened. And not that I would expect them to apologize for that or anything,
Oh,
but
they didn't
like,
apologize?
no, like I was walking to the front door and their security guard came in because they had like an off-duty cop as a security
Yeah.
guard. He had like a vest and a gun and whatever. But I was like, hey, is this like a quiet part in the movie or did they kill the audio? Yeah, yeah. And he's like obviously going to check the theater, and it's like, no, dude, I'm the only one in here. Like,
Mm.
what the hell?
Eh.
What did you guys forget about me? So other than that and missing a little bit of it, I did take that opportunity to pee though.
Yeah.
But like even when I came back, the audio really wasn't back on.
Hey.
So like I missed what the guy who was calling him a prophet first said. I got to read it and a little early bit of the next scene, but then audio was back on and everything was good. First time I've
So,
ever had like a little what the hell experience at that theater, and
so,
I go there for like all the movies we watch for the show.
mhm. So they didn't like apologize and give you a refund? I'd kind of expect something.
No, no, I would have
That's
taken a
kind
blame.
of lame.
Kind of, kind a little
Listen,
lame. I
when
mean, I'm gonna
people
mention.
go, s-
What I'm
when
gonna
people,
do is just gonna mention it the next time I'm there. Just go to an
yeah,
earlier showing and just ask is the manager around. No
yeah,
big deal. Just is the manager
yeah, that
around.
seems reasonable.
Yeah, and just be like,
Oh,
hey, I just want to let you know that this happened.
hmm
And as I was a part, and it's just like even if you sell one ticket, which I get it,
yeah,
it's not a full house. I get it, and
hmm
easily to forget about, but maybe have some indicator going, hey, we have at least one person here who's paid their money.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, okay, you only sold one ticket, so I understand it's not a priority. But if you're
Yeah,
gonna do the showing and not cancel it, then do the showing.
do the showing. If you're gonna cancel it, refund me my money.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, it really seems
Yeah.
like you hear about stories about people not liking a movie and demanding a refund, and for me, that's like, well, if you want a refund, I think
Uh,
you
I,
should approach the
I,
studio.
I,
Um,
I have worked in a theater before,
yeah.
and that happens more than you would think.
hmm
Oh,
For me, it's
at
like, don't ask the theater for the money
100%.
back. Ask the studio.
The
And
most we
yeah.
could do is refund their concessions.
hmm Now, now the only time I would ask for a refund from the movie theater is something like that, where it's a technical issue on their end.
Yeah. Like if it went out and didn't come back
hmm
on, yeah, I would have absolutely. Hey, the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you put the movie back on and can I get my money back? Like that's
No.
just it was bogus, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
other than that, but I genuinely did enjoy this though.
Yeah. No, like, even though, like, I was saying, hey, I would like, I would like him to do more stuff. Because one thing I thought was interesting is, even though this kind of concludes the entire story from the first Dune, it does feel like they're leading into the sequel,
It
like,
does.
more than I expected.
Yeah.
Like, he beats the Emperor here, but then it's like, but Paul has more to do. He has to, go throughout the universe or whatever. And it's like, oh, it really felt led until the sequel, and I'm like, okay, I love Denis Villeneuve. He's one of the best working directors right now, in my opinion. But I would like him to do something not Dune next. Just, and I don't even want to say I dislike either of these movies because I thought they were. I think this is my favorite version of Dune. But I thought it was better than David Lynch.
And
And
well,
it's
one
better
thing
than the sci-fi one, which it's so weird.
we
So I
don't
feel
talk
like
about that one. From what I've understood,
Well,
we
the
don't
David
talk about
Lynch
that
one
one.
rushes through a lot of the story, and that's kind of the biggest issue because you don't get a great feel for the characters. Whereas the sci-fi one actually goes through the story and the characters. It does a decent job, but ooh, those visuals, ooh,
Are they any
it's a
better than the
sci-fi
Picard?
movie.
Are they any better than that Picard fight?
Picard fight, which one?
Or yeah, when he's fighting Patrick Stewart and the David Lynch one,
Oh,
and they got the geometric shields.
no, those visuals are so much better than anything in the sci-fi movie.
Okay,
I will take that 80s animated shield over anything in that sci-fi movie visual wise. I want to stress, like, they do a decent job with the characters in that. But yeah, you gotta suspend a lot of disbelief with the. In fact, hold on. That's right. I don't know why I was thinking it was James McAvoy as Paul in that, but no, it was Alec Newman. James McAvoy's involved in that series at some point though. Um, I'm not sure when, but yeah. Um,
Oh, please tell me he plays the Stain part.
no. Well, yeah, I mean that is worth talking about because that is one of the things that the that is changed here. Because something I didn't realize until kind of recently, until DJ brought up, was how Frank Herbert, the original writer of this, very homophobic dude. Um, and that's Harkonnen was kind of written as like the one gay representative in the story, um, not portrayed well. And they really like in this version, they really like they steer hard away from any gay implication with Harkonnen, which is probably for the
Yeah.
best. Because there are issues with Frank Herbert. Mainly the big thing that pissed me off is that he disowned his gay son, and that was
That's shitty.
really fucking shitty of him. Yes, and then but um, you know, uh, Frank Herbert's also been dead quite a while too. I think he died back in the 80s. He's not with us for a while. So the opportunity to take his stories, which are largely pretty fucking good, and just kind of get rid of those aspects because they aren't really vital, and that really feels like kind of what Denis Villeneuve was shooting for with this version. I think he largely pulls it off. So yeah, it, it, overall, I think this is a very good movie. The visuals here are amazing. Like the unexpected, just black and white stuff going on in that arena scene was unexpected, redundant. The unexpected, but I
Yeah,
love the way it looked. Like it just worked. Just kind of showing the simplicity of just the barbarism of just the arena, and it's like, okay, I'm down.
yeah, yeah. I enjoyed that. I I wasn't a fan of a lot of the close up fight scenes. I kind of thought there was just way too many cuts. But
Yeah.
that's
That.
a preference for me. That's my preference with
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, I mean, God, I feel like there was something I watched recently that had a lot of that issues. Oh, I think it was probably Avatar. The live
Yeah.
action Avatar had did that bit too. Um, I don't know. I
Yes,
think
they did,
overall it works really well
but
here.
we'll
But
get
yeah,
to that. But we'll get to
yeah,
that.
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
No.
Um, but yeah, this is overall just a really good movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you know what? I actually kind of put up with Timothy Chalamet in this one, and I am not a fan.
You see, I think he is fine.
I think he is
I don't
just
think he's
very
amazing, but
wooden. I don't think he's wooden. I think he's wooden.
hmm.
But
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
there was enough other actors that it just I kind of was like, oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. He's in this. That's right.
Well, I was actually going to add one of the things I noticed also is that it felt like maybe I'm misremembering. It felt like Lady Jessica's role was diminished a bit in this movie because I remember, and maybe it's just because I'm looking at the
Her
story
being a child,
overall.
her actually being a living 5-year-old child.
Oh no, no, that I'm not speaking of that, but yeah, no, that
Oh,
Lady Jessica's his mom.
yeah,
Um,
that's right. That's right.
Uh, but yeah, you are correct. So Anya Taylor Joy plays his sister, and you only get one quick vision of her. She is never born in this one, which is one of the things that kind of feels like it's leading towards another sequel, even though this
Mhm.
one mostly covers and finishes the first book.
Even though there's
Um,
that scene where she just like the
yeah,
sister goes into the council, like I was
yeah.
kind of like, oh man, we don't get a lot of deep conversation telepathy in this one like we did the original, and I was
Well, I
enjoying that one.
I mean, the
Like,
original, like, well, the original story goes over a lot more time, and then the David Lynch
hmm
one does as well. It like speed
hmm
runs a lot of that time, though. But you get there's supposed to be at least quite a few years that Paul's with the
Yeah,
desert people, and here it feels like maybe a
a
year.
month,
Oh,
a
yeah,
month at
I don't know.
best.
It doesn't feel that short, but like maybe he's there a year,
Yeah,
maybe 6 months to a
maybe.
year.
Yeah,
No, it can't be a year because she hasn't given birth yet. So it's been like 6 months with the Fremen.
yeah, yeah.
She's fairly pregnant at the end, but like that's it.
He's all kinds of fucking pregnant at the end.
hmm So yeah, not nearly as long with the Fremen. So I guess it's a variation from the book as well. Um,
I did like when like them getting the water of life from the baby worm. That scene was actually kind of cool.
yeah, I don't remember anything like that from the books or the original movie, but that
That
was
was cool.
wild.
And
Yeah.
also just the let her try. And it's like, oh, yeah, they do that.
Oh yeah, the commanding voice thing that the God, what do they call it? The Benny Gesserit do.
Yeah, I
Um,
kind of forgot about all about that until that first one. I was like, oh, that's right.
yeah,
That's
that's how they
right.
make you do shit.
And
No, don't
even
start.
though having the even though having the entire theater to myself, I have to give I gotta pat myself on the back for this. I did not even riff aloud. I was still respectful as if it was a full theater.
hmm
Now, the only other time I've had a theater to myself was for Tusk. That one I wasn't.
Well,
I was vocal about that one.
Tusk is so weird because like I remember first time I watched it, like the first half, I'm like, wow, this seems like a totally
Like,
decent, like almost like a
yeah,
dramatic Kevin Smith movie. I'm
yeah, it's more
kind
like,
of
okay, Kev.
down.
Okay, Kev.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
And then he becomes a walrus and you're like, oh
And
shit,
then
what movie did
shit
this
just
change
goes
into?
south and be, what the
Oh,
fuck am I
that's right.
watching?
I remember the exact moment it changes is when Johnny Depp pops up on screen. And that's when it's like, oh fuck, what movie am I watching?
It's going, is he like a caricature or
Yeah.
what?
Uh but you know
Ah,
what? Dune Part 2, way better
yeah,
than Tusk.
way better than Tusk. So good you can enjoy it in a theater by yourself.
And even though I am not a fan of Tusk and a lot of
I
stuff
am.
Kevin Smith's done recently, excluding Clerks 3, all the respect in the world to Kevin Smith.
Yeah, yeah, I
He seems like a cool dude.
yeah, good or bad. Even when he's playing a hyperized version of himself, that's a dick.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything you want to add, or you want to dive into
Now
X-Men season 1?
let's dive into X-Men season 1.
All right. So I grew up on this series, and I remember being
Same.
excited to watch it every Saturday morning.
Oh yeah.
Um, One thing that threw me off, and I think it got better as the series went by, either I got more used to it, but I think it got better. The first few episodes, that animation is a
Little
bit
choppy.
rough. Yeah, it's
Little choppy.
very choppy.
You noticed that
And I
too?
feel like it did get better as it went on.
Oh,
I
it
feel like
did.
towards the end it wasn't as bad. Yeah.
I there's a lot about this that I remember but did not remember how.
Yeah.
But okay, like I remember Beast being in prison,
Mhm.
but I don't remember what happened or how he was in prison or why he was in prison. Just that he was in prison and was willingly serving out his time.
Yeah.
Because I remember that one going like, "Are you kidding me?" Even when he bent the bars to let Gambit out, like,
Yeah.
"Are you kidding me,
Yeah.
Hank? Like, come on."
He's counting on human beings to do the right thing. Fucking sucker. um One thing, and I think this is probably one of the first series I remember that did this. And it's a comic book story, so it undoes it later. But I will
Of
say
course,
this series has some balls killing off Morph in the second episode too.
killing,
Yeah. Well, first
killing.
season killing.
Yes,
It
yeah,
is reversed later. It's a comic book story, but like, yeah, like essentially they're getting attacked by the Sentinels.
yeah. They
And
got a
then
lot of
all of a
balls
sudden,
killing a main character that quickly.
yeah. He was set up as a main character, and then Wolverine's like, I need to go back for Morph and Beast, and then they're like, Beast has been captured, he's fine, and then Wolverine's like, well, what about Morph? And just like silence. It's like, oh shit, they're actually killing him. Okay, I'm doing air quotes without my camera on. It's not very useful, um, but I will go ahead and also say, even though animation issues aside, this season one had some pretty good stories. I thought overall, I can see why I
Agreed.
was into it. Yeah.
Agreed.
Um, God, I didn't even remember how many like I mean, to be
Like,
blunt, like a lot of the stories I really remember are from season one. I didn't even realize, like, pretty much at the end, it's Days of Future Past. It's like, wow.
yeah, I kind of forgot
Um,
all about that too. And like,
yeah,
I remember Bishop, but I never understood how he got there.
yeah. Well,
And like there was a lot that I had kind of forgotten since I mean, it had been almost like a while since I'd watched this.
it's probably been around 10 years for me, and I was probably spotty when I was watching it last time because it was mainly my daughter who was watching it.
Yeah.
My son never got into this series, so I didn't watch it with him when he was younger. And damn it, I tried to. Where's the episode list? But yeah, the oh, there it is, episode guide. But yeah, we begin with the two-parter Night of the Sentinels, and then you got the kind of the Magneto two-parter, but that's
You
the other
mean
thing I
that
don't remember
you mean
because
that one where Xavier made him relive the Holocaust?
yeah, that's the other
Yeah.
thing I don't remember.
I yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, they don't call it the Holocaust here. They're treating it like almost like it's some different war
But no,
that
it's
happened.
it's the Holocaust.
Well, yeah, no, famously it is. But I
Yeah.
feel like maybe they're trying to de-age Magneto and Professor X, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't sure why they weren't being like they were being really vague about like what the war was and stuff like that. And it was kind of like the war was kind of a big deal, guys. I think most kids would know what World War II is. I'm not saying we have to get detailed or anything like that, but we can
No, no, not at all.
call it World War II. Come but yeah, pretty much every episode was a cliffhanger, um, kind of one after the other. Yeah, because you get the two-parter with Magneto, and then we get the Morlock thing, and then oh yeah, the Cold Vengeance is kind of like Wolverine and Sabretooth, and there's like a B plot where Gambit, Jubilee, and Storm are going to go to Genosa to check out the place that's friendly to mutants,
And
and
then
then they go there and they're instantly enslaved.
they end up meeting their rogues gallery in one episode and work together with them.
Yes, yes. To save themselves. And then they get home and the X Mansion is destroyed. And it turns out Juggernaut did it. But they think it's Colossus because they encounter Colossus first. They did some weird stuff with time too. Because like they encounter Colossus and they hear like a news report of some big guy at a bank. So they rush over to the bank and they're arresting Colossus. And it's like, wait, how how'd he get there first?
Yeah.
What? Does he have a teleporter? I'm confused. But then immediately after the Juggernaut story, it's the Cure, which is leading into the Apocalypse stuff and the Archangel stuff, and then it's
Which
Days of Future Past.
I don't remember Archangel being a bad guy.
Oh yeah, well I mean he's one of the Horsemen for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but then yeah, and then we got Days of Future Past, and then the cliffhanger of Days of Future Past is essentially they go to stop the assassination of Senator Kelly, and they are successful, but the future still ends up all like apocalypse, everybody's dead shit.
Hmm.
And that leads into the last episode where the X-Men are trying to figure out who the big bad is, and it all ends up being the super Sentinel Master Mold, you know, comic book stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
That
trying
was
to remember.
that thing. I remember that thing, and
Yeah.
I remember being like as a kid, just oh, that's so scary. But now I just couldn't help but laugh at it.
Well, no, it's definitely one of those things where it's like it was a fine for like a little like season finale, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
felt like they had done so many like major stories leading up to that. Like when we get to that final episode, it's like it's fine, but it's like any one of the other
Really?
stories they had done throughout this season would have been better as a final story.
Yeah, it's just kind of really like
Yeah.
that.
It's like, okay,
Mutants
big monster,
sitting
big
in
robot
cauldron.
monster, whatever. Like, we had already had Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen. We'd done Days of Future Past.
We've
Juggernaut
introduced
would have been
yeah,
better to with. Juggernaut.
we've already introduced Cable and Bishop. Like,
Yes. So many time traveling dudes. I mean, with the exception of the Morlock thing, like, I don't really feel like
and the street urchins.
yeah. Um But yeah, I will say it was fun, like, diving back into this. I'm trying to remember, like, I feel like maybe towards the apocalypse stuff is when I really started noticing the animation seemed to smoother. Like, the
Yes.
animation I never thought was really like, the designs I think are overall decent for the characters, but, like, there's a cheapness to the animation that never gets completely resolved, but it's definitely better than it was in the first few episodes. I do think mainly what carries a lot of this for me is just they're decently written episodes.
Hmm.
Totally woke, by the way. No, the
Oh,
people who scream.
also the final decision though that led into Sinister, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yeah, we heard Sinister's voice at the end of that.
Yeah.
Which Mr. Sinister is a great villain, but we've already had Apocalypse, so um, but yeah, I know there's some big ones. Like I remember they're doing Phoenix Saga and Dark Phoenix Saga, so I'm sure those are coming up.
Yeah, I peeked
Um,
ahead at the future stuff coming up because I know at some point there was a crossover and it was supposed to be the launching point for a few other Marvel properties, but it
yeah,
they got canceled in that season. And I think one was like Captain America and they were going to try and rejuvenate Iron Man.
yeah. I'm 99% sure there is a Captain America
Oh,
story
there
coming
is.
up
There
at
is. I
some
peeked
point.
ahead. I peeked ahead and I saw Cap there and I'm like, oh, it's so tempting to watch it, but I know if I jump in, there'll be like so much that I have missed.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like all the stories
This
are
is,
leading into each other for a kids
yeah,
show. That's kind of surprising too.
it's kind of
But
super awesome.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down for it. I mean, it probably partially explains why I was so excited to catch a new episode every Saturday morning because
Yeah.
what's going to happen next?
Because I've rewatched Batman. Because I've rewatched Batman the Animated Series,
Hmm.
and that one rarely did that. That's kind of what I
Yeah.
think made X-Men just so awesome.
Well, I will say I thought the Batman animated series did a better job with the animation.
And those
I
first few
thought,
are a little rocky like this, but
yeah,
it
yeah.
quickly gets fixed. Sometimes people's color, their eyes are the same as their skin, and it's kind of what the fuck.
Yeah, that'll throw you off. But yeah, okay. So Phoenix Saga is season 3. I remember really well. I think Phoenix Saga, if I remember, that was like after school when they were doing those episodes. So I was
Hmm.
excited to check those out.
Yeah, and let's
um,
see here.
I
Time
love it.
Fugitives. That's part two. That's season two.
Yeah,
Time
we will get
Fugitives
into
part
them.
one and
But
two.
yeah, I this was good, and I think, like I said, well, I think mainly carries it is we got a solid voice cast and well written episodes. Um, you know, they'll keep you engaged episode to episode.
Oh, season three, we get Nightcrawler.
If we don't
Yes,
get them
season
before then,
three.
I'm surprised number of characters we got in season 1. We got Cable, Bishop, Colossus,
Sabretooth.
yeah, Sabretooth, Magneto, Mystique. Oh,
And Mystique, yeah.
this series is so woke. There's a character that's a woman, but she pretends to be a man using male pronouns. So woke.
Yeah, we do get the Dark Phoenix saga. Oh yeah. It's a four-parter. All in season three.
Oh yeah, and before that, it's regular Phoenix Saga for 5-parter.
And that's in season two. All right.
No, I think that's season 3 as well.
Oh.
Maybe I'm misremembering. It does seem familiar. There's like a season where like Professor X and Magneto are in the Savage Land for like the entire season. That's like the ongoing story. Kind of like Beast being in prison for season one is the main story. Is kind of like the ongoing thing in season one, which means we don't get too much Beast in season one, which is well, little missed. But
Yeah, I do still like Beast. Definitely one of
no,
my
Beast
favorite
has always been
characters.
one of my favorites. Um, the contrast between just the fact that he's a beast and his intelligence, I always appreciate that, and the fact that his mutant power literally makes him dumber is always kind of a cool aspect of him. It's like, how smart would you be without your mutant power? Holy shit. Yeah, but it was fun returning to this. I enjoyed this.
I
We'll
did
see
too.
how the other seasons go, but
Oh,
anything.
yeah. Jean Grey's kind of worthless in this in the first
Oh
season.
yeah, good point. Yeah, like Rogue actually gets a lot to do in this season.
Rogue carries the
Yeah,
team.
yeah. Rogue is a major character.
Like
The
there was
only
one
one
I
that
was watching,
possibly
and
competes is Wolverine.
I was like,
And
the whole
Gambit
team's
gets some
the
stuff
whole.
too.
He was like, the whole team's doing so. Oh wait, don't worry, guys. Jean's here. It's cool.
Yeah, that
Jean's
is
here.
true. Like Jean, I felt like her role was to date Cyclops. And
We
that
also got the meme in this too, in season one. One of
oh yeah,
Wolverine
yeah.
holding the picture. It was my oh
I know that meme. I know.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, Jean
Oh
just she
yeah,
she dates Cyclops, and like she has like one of the most power. Like she's a telekinetic. She
hmm
can move anything she wants with her mind, and comes off as kind of worthless a lot.
like I was just gonna like wait,
Like,
like
come on.
how are they gonna build the Phoenix around her? Like
It's like,
for God's sakes, Xavier flew the fucking Blackbird.
yeah. I mean, you know how Magneto can control all metal objects? Well, Jean, you can do the same thing, except you aren't limited to metal.
Yeah,
Just saying.
maybe we'll get more of her in season two. Like her,
I figure we will, but yeah, that was a good point. And
yeah.
Storm gets a fair amount to do as well. It's like I feel like
hmm
here, like the main characters we get focused on are mainly like Rogue, Wolverine, and Gambit. But
Yeah,
we get plenty of Cyclops and Storm.
we
I feel
started
like we get
out with Jubilee, and I thought we'd get a little bit
yeah.
more with her perspective, but no.
I'd probably put Jubilee along with like Cyclops and Storm as
Oh
like the second tier. And I feel like we get as much Beast as we do Jean Grey,
yeah,
but Beast is in jail for a lot of the season. There's a reason why we aren't getting a lot of Beast. Jean's just
yeah,
not doing
there,
anything. Yeah,
and always in that costume.
yeah, just chilling.
I think she was only out of it once, and it was the street urchin episode.
Yes.
That was the only time we actually got her and Scott alone, but still, like
Yeah.
that was it.
hmm Well, it was after that they decided to get married. But yeah,
Ugh.
enjoying this.
I am, yeah, I am. But I did
Yeah,
notice that this season.
I didn't even think about that, but that is 100% accurate. Anything you want to add before we go on to Avatar?
No.
All right. So we talked about the first half of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action Netflix version, and now we've seen the whole season. And I know last week my vote was kind of I'm not really recommending it, but it's close. And kind of my new vote at this point would be I kind of recommend it, but it's tentative. It's borderline. And I don't know, like mainly if you're a fan of the original. This doesn't work at all
It
as a
it
replacement, in my opinion.
it,
But
it does it plays the hits.
yeah,
It
it,
definitely plays the hits.
mhm,
It took a few liberties, in the
Yes.
end. Some of
And
which
I largely
I'm
like the liberties it takes.
yeah, I'm cool with. I'm
Yeah.
cool with. Um, they're kind of they definitely teased another season.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I mean, this if you've seen season 1 of the show, this is broadly the same story.
Yeah,
It's just like the M. Night Shyamalan movie, kind of the same
only
story.
better.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Only better.
this is not as good as the animated series, but vastly improved to the M.
Uh,
Night Shyamalan
I
movie.
will say that the princess's death hit a little harder.
Yes. Yes, it did.
I
And,
really felt horrible for Sokka at the end,
mhm. Yeah. Well,
but
the other
the
thing
the
is,
actor
I
who is
mean,
playing Sokka is great. So
yeah. I feel like they're willing to go a bit darker with this version, which is something I
mhm.
do appreciate. Like, we don't see Zuko getting burned, but we see more of that battle between him and his father, and we get to see the father's face when he's burning him. It's like
Joy.
this is fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of still think Ira is the man.
Oh yeah, no, and the stuff they've done with Iroh and Zuko in this live action version, I love. Um, oh yeah, I have it here. Paul Sun Hong Lee. I think I brought him up last week. He's the guy who plays Uncle Iroh.
Yeah,
He is not doing the same thing as Mako, which is 100% what he shouldn't be doing the same thing as Mako. But what he
no.
is doing, I think, is fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm loving this character just as much.
How about him when he saved his nephew from that lieutenant? Like, I
Yeah,
knew it was coming, but I'm like, fucking eviscerate him. Like,
yeah.
fucking do it.
Hmm.
Do you think those guys have the gall to attack you?
Hmm.
They're too
No,
scared.
no, he does come off a bit more as a badass here. Like, I feel like in the animated series, he was a badass, but like it would almost be surprising, and that's probably what they were shooting for. Here, there's
Yeah,
just more of a badass edge to him,
like
which it works
you
as well.
I I believe he conquered cities. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
believe it. I
yeah.
believe that.
And I think by showing Ozai and Azula in this season, they kind of gave them little stories. We kind of learned Azula kind of going into lightning bending a bit, kind of getting a bit more where she ended up at the end of season 1. I think they do a good job of adding them to this season and not really changing too much of where they're at for the beginning of the second season.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's the effects are spotty. The costuming gets spotty as well. This is not perfect as well. It's I
I mean,
have
Aang
so
still
many
went full
issues.
kaiju. He still went full kaiju,
He did go full kaiju, and
and
that
that
was
was
pretty badass.
fucking
I was
awesome.
down for
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Going full kaiju is cooler than whatever the fuck he did in the M. Night Shyamalan movie, where he interpretive danced his way through the enemies. It's like,
He
no.
made he made random movements, thus not to attract
Yes.
worms.
Wrong movie. Wrong.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It must have been the isolation.
You're thinking of Tremors.
That's right. I was literally in the theater when you said that.
Well, come on. The crossover we all need.
Okay, maybe I was a well-behaved patron, except for that moment. I did laugh out loud at that.
But yeah, again, I think this is kind of a good companion series so far. But I'm not
Yeah,
thrilled by it.
like
I have my
I'm
issues.
not overly wowed, but like I would say that if you want to get somebody into the series and they're not actually into anime or have like the I don't want to watch a kids show, this might be a bit more
Yeah,
palatable for them.
maybe. Yeah, and I can understand the hesitation because I think that's a big
Hmm.
reason why I didn't watch the animated series sooner. And I
Oh,
really need
fully
to give
admit,
animated stuff.
fully admit, yeah, fully
Yeah,
admit. That's
I
why
need
I
to
did.
give animated stuff more of a chance because there's some good stuff, and like
There
actually
is.
forcing myself to sit down and watch this. the animated version was worth it because it's a great fucking series.
Yeah, it's an
Um,
amazing story.
I'm excited to catch Legend of Korra whenever we get around to that at this point.
Yeah, when we can.
Yeah, but yeah, this is I think Netflix does all right with this version.
It's better than Adam
Yeah.
Sandler starring in it.
Oh God. Why?
Oh, because you know that he'd cast Rob Schneider as Appa.
Ah,
Oh, just picture it, that big old face.
that would be awful.
Oh, I kid, but seriously though,
Yeah.
no, this was good, and it could be a little bit more palatable. Is anything gonna top the original though? No,
No.
it
It's
won't.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's not
lightning
to say
doesn't
the
strike
original is
twice.
flawless, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and
absolutely.
the rumors of the misogyny being removed from this series. Um,
Fuck no.
yeah, no. So like maybe with the Sokka character, but like the Water Tribe misogyny, very much still there.
Like
Um,
bluntly.
yeah, no, I feel it's handled differently. Like before it was handled kind of like just the in the animated series it's handled kind of like the guy is just unwilling to teach women. And here it's
Hmm.
handled a bit more like it's a cultural thing, which I would
Yeah.
argue I can make an argument that that's more of an effective argument to be like,
It for a storytelling arc,
yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
And to have
So
character development and growth with that character, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So the removal of that is it's there. It is flat out there.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, you brought up how the Princess Yue and Sokka, they do a good job, I think, with those two. And you do feel when she's gone. Yeah, Mikhail's, yeah, they
Yeah,
did improve the romance with Sokka.
they did. They did.
That's the thing. Like the animated series, better. I want to make that absolutely clear. The animated series is better. There's no comparison. This one does a couple aspects I think better. Um, and there's a couple of things they throw in there that where I'm like, okay, cool. Um, I will say I feel like towards the end of the series they were getting better with Katara, but I definitely feel like she's still the weakest of the characters they brought back so far.
I think they're going to really push for her if they do the next
Yeah,
season.
yeah, I
Because I
think they are
remember
as
that
well.
feeling that way about her at the end of the first season, the first time I first watched through. Kind of going, she interests me. I just wish they had more for her to do.
Hmm. Well, eventually she'll start blood bending people, and you'll start getting freaked out by her.
We're on series, man. That's
Oh.
Gen V.
No, that
I know. I know.
Katara does that too. Yeah.
I know. I know. She's the
Although
one not
Gen
to
V,
be fucked
the
with.
blood bending in Gen V, holy shit!
Holy
Damn.
fuck.
Hey, this live action version does get a bit darker, so maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't think they'll go quite that far.
I don't think they'll
But
go that hard R. I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
it is noteworthy how people do die in this version.
Yeah,
Where
they
I
don't
feel like the
really.
animated series is definitely going for PG. This is definitely going for PG-13.
Yeah, people die. And
Yeah,
like
there's
they kind of show
lots of death.
slashes and like blades going through people. So it's just kind of okay. Like,
Yeah, and people getting burned to death. I mean,
mhm. Yeah.
so yeah, that is noteworthy. But again, it's like I think this is good enough. It could definitely be better, but okay. Mm. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
No,
All right, let me dig up what's on the agenda for next week here.
we also got some news. You and I
Oh
have
yeah,
news.
well, we can talk about that right now. Horror
Yeah.
Hound.
Horror
Uh,
Hound weekend.
yeah,
Yeah.
we will be covering that. Mm.
Yeah. So we're gonna do what we can interview wise, but we're gonna have a bunch of photos,
Yeah.
bunch of cool stuff. There is a few panels that I'm gonna try and find a spot with a wall and an outlet and get at least all of it recorded.
Oh,
We're
do you
gonna
need
have
outlets for your equipment?
I have one, but I also have batteries,
Okay, okay. I was about ready to say,
and I'm
when
gonna
I'm
bring
there, I
both,
almost always go on
A-
batteries,
and
and
I'm
then
gonna
if
bring
there's, like,
both.
a dead hour, I will find a socket and plug in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and if anything, yeah, we'll talk that more later. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's plenty of cool stuff. There is I don't know how late you're gonna stay Saturday night, but there is a after party with live music. I will.
I will let my daughter will be with us, so it's kinda gonna be her call. I think she'll
Gotcha.
probably be interested in the film festival aspect, so,
Oh yeah.
because there's a film festival aspect to that, which Comic Expo doesn't have, so I think that's kinda cool. Um
There. If you go to the Horror Hound website, she could watch trailers. They
Mhm.
have all the trailers up
Nice.
right now.
That is awesome.
There's some
But,
pretty cool ones. And when I went a few years ago, I saw a great one that they've changed the name of it, but I think it's on Amazon now. But it was really good. And I wasn't like expecting much, you know?
mhm,
Like it's a film festival at a horror con. I knew what I was walking into, and I kind of figured I might get something that was like not like highest quality made, but it was good. Like I
mhm.
was thoroughly impressed.
Well, it's one of those things with horror, you never know quite what you're gonna get. You could
Yeah,
get just something cheap, but, kind of people playing around, figuring out what to do, and then you could also get some high concept, really well thought out cool stuff.
but you're also gonna get to see a pretty cool stuff from us. We both splurged a little, and we're gonna have some pretty cool uploads.
Mhm. Well,
Like,
I know.
we're both gonna meet Jeffrey Combs, not at the same time, but
Yes.
we're both meeting
Well, you
him.
know what? Hopefully he has some Star Trek stuff there, because he's done too much with Star Trek to not, um,
You
appreciate
better
it,
bring
but
some just in case.
yeah. I wanna weigh in, goddammit.
But there is also a Reanimator panel that Friday that
Yes.
I'm gonna try and that's definitely something I'm gonna be recording all of.
So, Reanimator has always been one of those movies on my to watch list, and I've
Really?
never
So you
actually
have
watched
never
it.
seen it?
Yes.
Oh, man,
That's why I was like, "Hey, let's add it next week."
that is probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Like,
It
just
looks cool, and I am a sucker for anything with Jeffrey Combs. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, Jeffrey Combs is in it, I'll check it out.
oh, and it's like he's young, so young in this, but he has got that, like, darkness
Mhm.
that he can go, you know? How he can just go there, and, oh,
But,
yes.
yeah, so we
It's
are
good.
covering that
It's
next
good.
week.
It
Yeah.
is just one of my personal favorite movies of all time. I fucking love that movie.
Mhm. But yeah, next week we got Reanimator, and then in the same vein, Kung Fu Panda 4, which rewatching those, I was like, oh man, I feel like this is a franchise that could be better, but it really isn't.
They're gonna hump it
It's not
into the ground.
terrible, but
They're gonna Jurassic World it.
yeah, yeah. And then, but we got X-Men season 2.
Mhm.
That should be fun. That should be fun. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm mainly excited to talk about Reanimator next week because I've never seen it, and
I'm excited for you to watch it. I'm
I'm
excited
excited to
for
watch it
you.
too. I think my daughter will be down for it too, so I think that'll be fun. But if you're wondering, the Reanimators next week, but we will be almost certainly doing some coverage or talk about Horror Hound on the 25th.
Mhm.
Because on the 18th we got, well, myself and George will be covering Ministry, Gary Newman, and Frontline Assembly. Um, God, that's a hell of an album ranking too. We're not doing all of them, but holy shit.
Yeah,
Going
yeah,
through
yeah.
even the parts of the discography we
My
picked is
favorite one is
ridiculous.
Cars. Okay, that's my contribution to it. Or what? Yeah,
Cars is
like
awesome. So
Randy Newman, right? You know, yeah, yeah. Short people. That
no,
that
no,
that's my
no.
pick. Yeah,
Gary,
short people.
Gary, you had it right with Cars.
Oh wait, I thought that's the same guy.
No.
short people got no reason to.
No. This guy does not love LA.
They don't do it for the boys.
No.
Oh.
But that'll
Okay.
be awesome. And I will go ahead and show a little favoritism here. I wish it's a ministry headlining show, and I wish it was a Gary Newman
Really?
headlining show.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That is surprising.
It's like I guess maybe like
I mean,
I mean
Ministry's
they were
okay.
huge.
They're all
Yeah,
right.
they were
I think
huge,
Gary Newman is
especially with Jesus Built
probably
My Hot Rod, but I mean I don't think they have anything as big as Cars. I mean, I heard
no
Cars earlier today at work.
in cars,
Yes.
in cars, in
And
trucks.
he's actually one of those guys where like he's done like 25 albums and they're all a bit different and they're all interesting. And Ministry, as much as I like Ministry, not all their albums are as different as they should be. But yeah, that'll be on the 18th. Next week, Kung Fu Panda 4, Reanimator, and X-Men Season 2, though. We got a couple of weeks of excitement coming up.
We got some fun stuff happening.
Yes. Hell, we'll have to see what we can get done because on Horror Hound, there's also Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire and Roadhouse 2024.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll
That's gonna be a busy
figure it out.
week.
Yeah, it'll be busy. I think
Like,
I can get most of X-Men watched before then, but yeah.
oh, I can get X-Men watched while during the downtime, like before and
Mhm.
after the con.
Oh, if there's anything like the Comic Expo, I guess there is downtime, but you kind of have to force it. There's not a whole lot of real downtime.
Well, yeah, they're still uploading, like updating the schedule and everything, so anything
uh,
could happen between now until then. Well, I say
yeah, we
that
can figure
because
that out.
I say that because I have yet to see a lineup for the Saturday night after party, and that usually doesn't come out until like a week before.
Okay.
There's also where is it? Oh yeah, if we want to stay till 3 p.m. on Sunday, we can get a Halloween Ends, so you could sit with the Corey Crawford from Halloween Ends, the surrogate Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't care. I liked
Yeah. It was. I thought Halloween Ends was the better version of Friday Friday 13th Part 5.
Okay, fair. But the year I went, there was a point when James Jude Courtney, like the guy who plays Michael,
Yeah.
we walked past each other in the hallway. That motherfucker's so big.
He would
Like,
have to be to play Michael.
I mean, I thought of him just in the full like outfit, the jumpsuit,
Mhm.
the mask. Yeah, I'd be fucking running.
Yeah.
Like I'd be out of there pushing people down out of my way.
So next couple weeks we got some exciting stuff. Oh, and quick announcement. This isn't the only one of my streams that's going to get delayed, although this is a last minute delay. This Thursday I'm not going to be able to stream. However, I'm going to do the regular Thursday stream. I'm going to do it Saturday at the regular time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So no stream Thursday, but stream Saturday. And then we do have a regular initiative stream tomorrow. But yeah, those are the big announcements. Exciting couple weeks for the podcast.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Horror Hound.
We'll talk about, but yeah,
yeah,
it's my first Horror Hound, so I'll be interested to check out this festival, and it's at a much smaller venue than I'm used to. So
they actually renovated the place.
Did they?
It was cramped it was cramped when I was there. And I guess they added a whole new wing to it, which is nice because
well, that would make it better.
Like
They must have done it fairly quickly. Yeah.
Well, they were under
We can discuss it
construction when
here.
I was Yeah. We'll talk in a minute.
Here, everyone, party
Bye.
on. Be excellent to each other.